Welcome to episode 3 of TBR Swap. This is a series on my channel where me and another booktuber swap TBRs, but also swap TBR games. In this episode, we have Sarah from Wicked Reading coming to play my TBR game for me. She is going to play my TBR game and pick books for me to read, and I'm going to react as I go. I have no idea what she's picked. I'm going to watch one roll, read that book, and then watch another roll. It's a lot of fun. And then you can also go over to her channel where I've played her TBR game and she's done the same thing. I have so much fun with it. It gets me outside of my comfort zone. It gets other people outside of their comfort zone. And who doesn't love to watch a TBR game be played either way? I will leave Sarah's channel down below. I love Sarah's channel. She reads a little bit of everything, predominantly horror, but she does read some fantasy as well. So I don't know what to expect from her. And with saying that, I just kind of want to get to my first roll. I want to see exactly what she's picked for me. Here we go.
Hey Cassidy, thank you so much for asking me to be part of this video and to do your TBR swap with you. I'm so excited to play your game, to pick out your books for you, but oh boy, am I also like nervous. I think it's just gonna be so interesting to see what we pick for each other because I feel like I am definitely probably the person that strays the most from your reading style. So I definitely am going to try to mix it up a little bit and push you out of your comfort zone while still trying to be a little bit nice. And I'm going to try to get you some books that I think are already on your radar, but I'm hoping to get the opportunity to throw in a couple of wild things in there for you too. So it's going to be really interesting to see what comes of these videos. So I can't wait to see what you picked for me, but first, I can't wait to see what I'm going to pick for you. All right, so here's my little version of Cassidy's board. I don't have physical dice, so I downloaded an app, and those will be our two die that we use. And then here is my little game piece. It's just this little smiley face guy. And Lexi left off on pet pick, so that is where I will put my game piece. And let's start the game. So roll number 1. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ooh, wild. Okay, that gives me a lot of room to work with. I am so happy that the first one was wild because I really wanted to find a way to sneak this in for you. This is a book that I do know was on your radar. It was actually part of your SPIFBO. I don't know what year, don't yell at me, but it was one of the finalists, and I know you didn't read it, and I think you're gonna really like it, and we kind of talked about it a little bit. So my first pick for you is going to be Rain and Ruin by J.D. Evans. This is one that I did personally read, so I'm really excited to see what you think of it.
I actually did know that Sarah had read this, and I have not read it. It was in SBFBO 7, I think. I think it was the winner. Was it the winner? I need to go look. In case no one knows, for the last 2 years, I've been a judge for a competition called SBFBO. I can leave it down below. And the year before that, I did like my own version. So yeah, SBFBO 7, it won. It won in SBFBO 7. Okay, that's exciting. And generally speaking, the winner of SBFBO I enjoy. Like, from all 3 years I've done it, there's never been a winner that I haven't enjoyed. I don't necessarily love them, but I've enjoyed them all. And so that has really big promises for this book. I actually know nothing about this. I believe it's a fantasy romance. Sarah obviously has enjoyed it since she's giving it to me. I'm nervous. I'm nervous, but I'm very excited because this was not expected from her. I was definitely expecting more horror forward picks, but I don't think I would have picked this up on my own. Even though it has been on my radar, it's just been pushed down and down and down. So I'm really excited to get to it, which is something super fun about doing this collab in this series. Okay, we're gonna focus up. We're gonna read this. We're gonna get back to you. I'm on chapter 13, so I think I have to be roughly 100 pages into the story. I don't know how I feel. I'm like equally interested and equally bored by it. I like the concept of like the politics. Essentially in this, we're following our main character who is the only daughter to the current king, and her father is losing his mind slowly because of his magic, and she is trying to prevent everyone from knowing that. And also now she's struggling because her whole life her father has told her, you're going to be queen, I'm not just going to marry you off, you're going to be the next person in power, we're going to change things, like I believe in you, I believe that you are powerful and strong and you can do this and you don't have to fall to society. And when the time came for this switch over, she thought she would have him to back her, which would help her go flawlessly into this position. But as he's slowly losing his mind, he's not kind of around to remember these things. He is falling back into history mysteries with someone who might not have his best interest or her best interest at heart, and there's kind of like political struggle because she is trying to take her place and not just be married off and not be a pawn. She's trying to play chess and not just be the pawn. I like that element of the story, but then there's also this fantasy romance element in it because she essentially tries to make a alliance with their enemy, and the enemy's younger brother comes. He's like a prince, but he comes over, and there is this like fantasy romance element of that. Their parts to me kind of fall really flat. I do not care about their romance at all, but I do like the political intrigue that's happening, but also it's just a lot of talking, which I don't love. I like when I get to see like moves more than just like theoretically this would happen if this would happen if this would happen. I like to see the actual like things happen, if that makes sense. I'm still gonna give it a try. I've thought about DNFing it for a while, but like I don't know, like I'm also somewhat intrigued, so I would like to continue on, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to do some coloring today. I decided I wanted to do a Scooby-Doo page, you know, redemption after my Care Bear page was so awful. I wish I had taken a picture like before I started to doodle into this, because I decided to draw in some Scooby-Doo things last night and white out some other things, and so this is the page. I don't know if you can see, but I added in like little Scooby right there, and he says rot row, and then I added like the designs to the mystery machine to make it more like the mystery machine. Some of these were already there, like the peace sign and the flowers I couldn't do anything about, but I did like add the like swirls so that we'll see the color difference. And then I added like bangs to this character and this little scarf because that's gonna be Daphne. And then I also added a little bit of bangs up here, and I squared out these glasses. They were actually originally round, but I obviously wanted them to be square. And so I'm definitely intrigued to see if this page comes together the way I envision it, but I'm scared it's not going to be. Also, Scooby-Doo is very like bold colors for me, and I don't typically color with those, so that will be interesting. Oh, you can kind of see on the back, this is what the page looks like without anything added to it, and then this is me having added things to it. That's my plan, and I'm going to listen to this audiobook. We have a few updates. First, I need to update you on my coloring page. I'm actually really proud of this one. It really pushed me out of my comfort zone, but like, tell me you don't get Scooby-Doo vibes. Tell me you don't get Scooby-Doo vibes. Like, this is incredible. Very proud of myself. We have Daphne, we have Velma, and we have Shaggy, and then I drew in, where's it? A little Scooby here who's saying rot-row. We have the mystery machine, the grass. We have little bones, like Scooby snacks on this carpet. I feel like I hit it out of the park, and also if you look at Scooby-Doo photos, the grass is a little more blue than this probably is, but I do think I still got like the tone of everything quite good. Like, it's giving Scooby. Very proud of this. I would love to do more pages like this. I just had so much fun. It really took me outside of my comfort zone, and it was fun to do while listening to my book, which we could update on the book next, I guess. I'm really close to being done. I think I have 2 hours of listening time left. I'm equally bored and equally engaged in this story still. I truly have no thoughts. It's very political in nature, so I do like that element of it, and I do like the idea of the world building. However, I do find the world building very clouded. I don't really understand exactly what each order of mage means. There's 6th mages and 5th mages, and obviously they get stronger, but I wish I could dive deeper into like the logistics of the magic system, because at this point I'm a little bit confused. But I didn't end up hating the romance as much as I thought I would. I actually kind of enjoyed their banter at times, and I feel like it was very real. There's a scene about naming something, and I was like, why is this relatable? Why is this relatable? But it was. So definitely enjoying this one, but not loving it. I think it's going to be a 3-star with the potential for me to continue. I think I will add it to Reader DNF and have it on my series list and try to continue and read the second book in that one if I like the ending of this, I guess. I have so many things. My dad got me this shirt. It's very cute. Very freaking cute. I need to wear it to like Stampede or something with a little cowboy hat. And our last order of business is another snack time with Cassidy segment. People loved it in the last vlog, and I happened to get another snack this week because these just came to Canada, and I mean like really recently, and they sell out everywhere. Only select stores have them, and they're constantly sold out. My sister and me went to 2 stores on Thursday to try and find them, and they were sold out. So this morning I was out and about, and I was like, I'm gonna try some stores. So I went to 2 stores, and at my second store I got lucky and I found the last 2 bags, and so I bought one for me and one for my sister. I've never tried them, so I'm going to try them for the first time with you guys, but they are the Fruit Riots. I've been seeing these on TikTok for months, and I've been jealous of everyone in the States who can get them. They're like sour frozen grapes. There are 3 flavors in this bag: mixed berry, green apple, and lemon lime. This one looks very green, so I think it's green apple. My teeth are probably gonna hate this, but I'm still excited to try it. Okay. Freshly frozen grapes splashed with lemon juice and a sour candy coating. That's actually sour. When things tell me they're sour, I don't believe them. It's actually sour. I can't believe how sour that is. Oh my god, I was not expecting that. I don't think I could eat more than like 1 or 2 at a time, which is okay. I'm always looking for snacks that I can just like snack on, because I am known to eat a whole bag of something. I don't know if I would purchase them again. I don't know. I love frozen grapes, but my teeth can't handle them sometimes. On like a hot day, you're sitting by a pool, like a little kiddie pool. I don't know if other people do this, but like I always have a kiddie pool in my backyard that I can like sit in on a hot day because it gets hot and we don't have AC. This would be refreshing. But as a snack in my house, I don't think I'm reaching for these as often as I am like the True Fruits or things like that. But they're very different, and if you're a sour lover, I vote try them because I thought they were actually sour. Good morning. We are really far into the month and I just finished a book. I've not read a lot this month. Here's the thing, burnout got me last month, and in order to not have burnout in May, I decided to take April very slowly, to do everything I want to do guilt-free, which will then have me back into my reading mood and have me more, when reading becomes a thing I have to do, it's less fun, versus when it's something I want to do, it's a lot of fun. And obviously it's a job, so there's a balance to be made with it, but I have a month that I can give myself to really chill out and get that reading love back, which I think it's happening. I have been enjoying what I'm reading. I've been enjoying when I'm reading it versus feeling like I need to sit down and read tonight, which is a big problem. But I did finish our first pick. I'm giving this book 3 stars. I liked it. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. It was honestly just a very, very mid book for me. There are a lot of things I did like. I liked the conversation that we had on grief of losing a parent through the loss of memories. I think that that one is very relatable to me as a family who has Alzheimer's that runs into our family. I found it very deep and discussed very well. And like there's just a lot of really intentional thoughts in this that I really enjoyed about that conversation. I also enjoyed the conversation on women and women in power and women in power in a society that men rule and men don't think a woman should rule, and how their only power is their breeding ability, and how we kind of went around that, and what happens when men see women as more than that, and how beautiful that can be, and how uplifting men can be to women. However, I think the pacing of the story really failed me. It was so slow. Like, not even slow. I don't even know if it's slow is the right word. It was very much all talk. The story in this is talk politics. No action. I like me some action. I'm definitely a fast-paced reader. I like my stories to be a little bit more go, go, go. I like there to be action and conflict and things always happening. I don't like to just watch characters talk about the things that may happen in the future. I like it a little bit, but I want a balance, and I feel like this was very much a political book about talking and discussing, which politics really is. Most of politics is sitting in a room and talking. It's kind of boring, but I need it to be intertwined into like an epic plot as well. So I think that that's really where this book really lost me, because I did like some aspects. I liked the trial that our male main character has to go through. I liked when we went back to his homeland and like the scene with the king there. I liked some of the more like impactful moments of like actual like conflict happening. Like we're in like the room and we're talking about things. I didn't really like the whispering around corners and like finding secrets and things like that, you know? And honestly, although I liked the romance, I didn't care about the romance scene. I liked their relationship and what they brought to each other, but truly when they were just together, I really didn't care. So there's also that. I think calling this a romantasy is wrong. Here's the thing. I do not think that this is a romantasy the way that I view romantasy. This is a romantic fantasy. There's like a difference happening these days. This is a fantasy with romance. This fits into the City of Brass, even the Poppy War. These fantasy books that still have romance, because romance is a big part of our lives, but the romance isn't the main feature of the book. The romance is not what the plot of this book is in any way, shape, or form. The romance is a side quest on the political plot line. Do not call this a romantasy. It's not. Well, it could be. It could be, and I understand that romantasy is hyped right now, and we're marketing things with the term romantasy because it is so hyped and makes people want to read it. It is what is selling. It is what marketing is going. Publication as a whole is a business. It's just trying to make money, and so like marketing this as a romantasy does make sense. I get it. But I'm telling you, if you're going into this thinking Spark of the Everflame, thinking ACOTAR, thinking Serpent and the Wings of Night, those feel very different than what I just got. This is more romantic fantasy. There's always a new term because there's people like me who like to niche things down. I like to, when it comes to reading, I really like to have little titles for things. Some people absolutely hate that, but I like to know there's a difference. I like that this is a fantasy with romance, and I like that this is a romance with fantasy, or that this is still a epic scaled fantasy, but the romance is the major plot line of it. This still is about a romance, but the fantasy plot line is more a thing. You know, you probably don't know, but I know. This does mean that I get to watch Sarah's next pick though, so let's do that together.
All right, roll number 2. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. New purchase. All right, so this is where I'm going to shake things up because I'm going to give you 2 options, okay? Because I'm going to give you 2 options of my most recent purchases, and these are going to be so incredibly random for you. So it might be mean, but hey, maybe you'll like one of these. I haven't read either of these myself, but they are very much kind of me coded. So I'm going to give you 2 options because one of them is a self-published book, so I don't know if it might be very difficult for you to get your hands on it. But the first option is Shy Girl by Mia Ballard, and the second option I'm going to give you is The Lamb by Lucy Rose. I have no opinions on either of these because I haven't even read them yet, but looking forward to see your reactions.
Sarah tricked me. Actually, it's my own fault. It's my own fault. She didn't trick me. I tricked myself. Sarah actually did text me, and I knew she landed on this square because she asked for my new to TBR. And I sent her like 7 books that I had recently purchased. She was like, what's the most thing that you've recently hauled? So I did know she landed on this square. But then, of course, I sent her a picture with the things that I had recently purchased. But I had said that I'm open to whatever. You can use your own hauled too. Like I did put it out there that like, you don't have to use mine. But I was still expecting her to use mine. But I love that she didn't because I love using this video series to really get outside of my comfort zone. I love trying new things, and I'm gonna do that because I've actually heard of neither of these books. So I am going to try, I think, the sample of both. If I'm going off cover vibes, The Lamb feels like more of a me book. Shy Girl feels like it's going to be a little too litfic for me, which is very Sarah coded. Sarah loves like lit horror, like women's horror. What's it? Pink horror? That's Sarah's horror. That's what she's reading. So in my brain, I'm like, I kind of hope that I like Shy Girl because it feels more Sarah coded, but The Lamb, this cover does intrigue me. Like, why is there raw meat on the cover? So yeah, I'm going to go to Kindle. I'm going to download both the samples, and then I am going to just try the samples and see which one I like better. And then I'll get back to you and tell you what I've picked. Okay, I have read both samples, so I'm here to update you. I read Shy Girl first, and I thought it was going to be the one for me. It starts off with a very disturbing, creepy, in my opinion, chapter, and I was like hooked. And then I do think it like slowed down a little bit. I was never bored. I was definitely still intrigued, but it definitely hit more of that literary feel. We talked a lot more about like her feelings. There's a big discussion on depression already in the first like 8 chapters because I feel like that's how long the sample was. So this was definitely a contender for me. I definitely liked it. I was like, I could definitely read this. And then I went to The Lamb, and since filming that update, I had texted Lexi to ask her which one I should read because she's my go-to horror resident, and she had actually never heard of Shy Girl, but The Lamb was on her TBR, but she didn't know which one I should read because she hadn't read either. But she did tell me The Lamb is about cannibals, which is why there is the steak, the piece of meat on the cover. It all makes sense. The Lamb throws you in. Like, the first chapter is literally them eating people already. Like, I feel like a lot of cannibal books are really slow, and like the cannibal is like more of like a twist. Like, we're like leading up to the point where we realize that she is eating humans. In this one, it's like a child eating humans from the very first page. At first, I was like, I don't know if this one's for me. I had the opposite reaction where I was like, oh my god, I don't know if I'm in the headspace to read like this horrendous of a story. And then it kept going, and I was more and more intrigued. The sample ended, and I liked liked that. I liked both of them, so I was like, which one do I pick? They're roughly around the same size. I liked both. Part of me is like, do I just read them both? However, I decided to go with The Lamb because the audiobook is on Everand for myself, so I can get that. I think that just makes sense. Instead of me purchasing a book, I'm just going to read The Lamb. I'm intrigued. We are sitting at my desk because my plan is to listen to the audiobook. I may get distracted. I may watch Twitch streams instead, and I do want to color a page. I think the berry coloring book is probably going to be the first coloring book I finish. It doesn't have a lot of pages, but I really like it because it's very unique compared to others. And so I've done 1, 2, 3. I've done 4 pages already. I think there's only like 12 pages. The rest of them I've done like 4 pages and then there's like 25. But I think I want to give a go at the Antarctica page because it's something very different than I've ever colored before. There's a snow tutorial on TikTok I'm going to try to follow. It's probably going to look absolutely horrendous, but I'm going to attempt that. But I might watch Cassin's stream for a bit. He's playing Phasmophobia. I've really been enjoying his streams. Him and Lisa are like my go-to people to watch. So I might watch that for a bit while I color and then switch to the audiobook. We are playing Phasmophobia tonight. There's a weekly challenge. I don't know if anyone knows. I'm playing this game called Phasmophobia with my friends. I talk about it in every vlog, so you all probably know. And it's like ghost hunting. It's kind of like a puzzle game mixed with a horror game, and I think it's a lot of fun. And there's like a weekly challenge that comes out every single week. So we're gonna do the weekly challenge tonight, but also on Thursday, their Easter event happens, and I'm excited for that because I love just like little challenges and stuff. That's why I love like readathons and reading challenges too. My brain is really good at like challenges. Like those motivate me to do things. So yeah, there you go. That's all. Bye bye. I'm hoping that my computer isn't too loud behind us. I finished The Lamb. I'm giving it 2 stars. I'm sorry, Sarah. Please don't hate me. Please. Well, you haven't read it. You literally haven't read it. So I don't think you're gonna hate me. I don't hate you either. I'm very much aware of my reading taste and how different it is from you. And I was excited to do this because of that, because it puts me outside of my comfort zone. And honestly, I'm always interested in learning more about my taste. I really didn't update you on The Lamb just because of this. We're following some cannibals, and that's pretty much all I should tell you because that's kind of the entire point of the story. I was just bored. I feel like for me personally, I needed more of an action-based plot to go along with this. This is very much in someone's head experiencing their trauma and the things that they have been conditioned to do. It does have an interesting narrative to it. I will agree with that. And I think a lot of people are going to like this one. I definitely still recommend it, especially if you like slower horror than I do. But for me, just nothing happened in this, so it wasn't engaging or entertaining for me. I just like listened to the audiobook while I did this. The audiobook was really well done. I'm not quite done, but this is what my page is looking like. I wasn't sure about it, but I do think it's really coming together. So that's exciting. But it also means that I get to do our next roll. I believe it is our last one, unless she hits a snake. So we'll see how that goes. And I'm excited for another book. I'm hoping for a horror book. I want another horror book, I think.
And roll number 3. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Animal on the cover. I think that one is. Yeah, I think that's animal on the cover. Okay. Since that last pick was a little bit mean, this one I'm going to be nice to you, and I do know that this is on your physical TBR already. So for a book with an animal on the cover, I'm going to give you Ashes of Chaos by Amelia Hutchins. Now, I don't know if I'll be able to find a picture of the version you have because I think you might have a special edition, but the version you have has ravens and a very fine looking man, if I do say so myself. I wanted to give you something more in your comfort zone after that last one, so I hope you love this one.
I was not expecting this. Oh, not horror. Also, poor Sarah. Let me go get the book. Here's what the book looks like. It does have ravens on the cover. It does count for this prompt in my edition. Poor Sarah who gave this to me thinking she was being really nice. That's kind of incredible. It is on my physical TBR. I do need to read it because I read Flames of Chaos, which is the first book in the series, and gave it 2 stars. So, I just have these really pretty editions and I haven't wanted to unhaul them, so I kept telling myself I'm going to try the second book. So I guess it's time for me to try the second book, and if I don't like the second book, I do probably need to unhaul these. The thing is, I didn't buy the rest of the series in these editions because after I read this one, I wasn't sure about them. I was like, I shouldn't waste my money, but I didn't want to like also get rid of these if in the end I did like this one. So I did need to read this. This was a good pick for my personal reading goals, especially because when was I ever picking this for myself? Probably never. Probably never. I have most definitely been procrastinating filming this Glam. Oh, so let's show off my coloring page first so that I can continue to procrastinate. This is my completed Antarctica page. Kind of love it. I think I slapped here. Look at how cool that ice looks and the water. This is a masterpiece. This was a good coloring vlog for me. Maybe I should become a full-time colorer instead of a booktuber because I don't want to talk about this book. Okay, I read the sample. I downloaded the Kindle sample. I've been doing that a lot lately. So then I can like try reading the book on my preferred way to read a book. I have not been really reading like books I physically own very much. I've really been reading ebooks or audiobooks. And for ebooks, I can just download the Kindle sample, read those pages, and then that makes me decide whether I want to buy the ebook or not. And so for this one, I was like, okay, let's download the sample before I just like dive headfirst into buying the whole ebook, especially considering I was already unsure about this. I think I'm only like 40 pages in and I'm DNFing this thing. This hurts. This hurts because look at it. Book 1 specifically, this is like a work of art. I mean, of course it is. It's a special edition, but this speaks to my very soul. I love the cover. I think it's beautiful. I'm very sad that I will be unhauling these, but I just can't justify keeping them because they're pretty. But what if I could? What if I could? I think that the first like 40 pages of this really reminded me of why I didn't like book 1. It is a lot about the sex. The entire plotline of the story is essentially that she is a Hecate witch and people want to breed her to get her power. And currently in book 2, she's essentially in heat for one man, and this man is like chasing her down and she's like craving him inside of her. And it's just too much for me. A lot of people love this. I think it is for a lot of people. I understand why people enjoy this. It's like fun. It does have a really cool world building with these like different realms and how her bloodline, because it's of the noble houses, can enter all the realms, and so people want to breed with her to get her bloodline so they can enter all the realms, things like that. Like there is a really cool world building set within this, but I don't want to read about her just wanting his big wee inside of her at all times. I just feel like it takes away from the plot line for me, but it is the plot line of the story, so it's not actually taking away, but it's just like not my preferred plot line. And I also just find the writing very repetitive. We'll have a paragraph about something and then it's like reset in the next paragraph and it's like another full paragraph. So I think for me, I gave book 1 2 stars. If I'm already not liking this 40 pages in, what are the chances that I'm going to like this? I don't really feel like reading it sitting down with my special edition, so I don't want to purchase another copy of it because I'm not gonna like it. I'm really sad that I have to give these away. I'm really sad. But it needed to be done. It really needed to be done. This needed to get off my shelf. I don't have a lot of shelf space. I really could use the shelf space. So thank you so much, Sarah, for pushing me to read this because it would have sat there for another 2 years. I know it because I didn't want to get rid of it, even though in my heart I knew I was getting rid of it. That was the problem. I knew I didn't want this, so why was I keeping it? So this is really good. Really good for my soul, even though cries and pretty. I know I'm really excited to now go watch Sarah's video. I played her TBR game, which is like bookmarks pick my TBR, and I chose her a bunch of reads. It is out right now, so you can click the video on the screen and go watch her video. I always like to know who you think was more cruel in their picks. It's almost always me. If you made it all the way to the end of this video and you'd like to leave me an emoji just to say you were here, leave me a cow emoji, and have yourselves an absolutely remarkable day.